Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today I would like to answer a question regarding the word salah. Somebody has asked, if the word salah means to closely follow behind something, then how is that any different than the Arabic word tabi'a or taba'a, which also means to follow? Now, this is a very legitimate question that really needs to be answered and clarified. There are a couple of things I need to mention. The first thing, a lot of times when we translate a definition from the Arabic language, sometimes some elements can be lost in translation. And this is a fact in really any language. And so in Arabic, the word salah is defined as al-luzum. The Arabic word al-luzum can be understood as a form of adherence or an attachment, or to closely follow to something, or even some type of obligation or necessity. You see that? So it can be, this is how it's understood in the Arabic language. And of course, when a person translates this definition, some elements may be lost. I translated it as to closely follow to something or to adhere to something. And of course, this is a subjective translation. A person may use any other term that they see fit so long as they are defining the term from the root. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the second thing, we need to understand that there are no synonyms in the Quran. There are words that have similar meanings, but ultimately, when investigated, those similar meanings, they'll have an overlap in a meaning, but ultimately, there will be a subtle difference in definition between these words. For example, the words like ja'a and ata that are used in the Quran. Ja'a and ata can both be translated as to come or to arrive. However, in Arabic, ja'a means to come or to arrive, bringing something from somewhere else with them. Whereas ata also means to arrive or to come, but they are bringing something from themselves. You see that? So they both mean to bring or to come or to arrive, but there is that subtle difference between them, whereas ja'a brings something from somewhere else, where ata is to bring something from yourself. You see that? So, likewise, when we study the words salah and taba'a, they both mean to follow, but there will be a subtle difference between the two words. I'll actually introduce another term that also means to follow, which is tilawa or tala. Tala also means to follow. When God says والقمر إذا تلاها, and the moon that follows it, okay, following the path of the sun, God uses the Arabic word talaha, tala. Tala means to also follow. So there again, there's three words that can all be translated as to follow, but they will each have a subtle difference between them. Okay, so let's focus on the words salah and tabi'a, which was the question that was proposed. Now, taba'a in the Quran is a generalized concept of following something. Okay, you can follow the prophet, you can follow the messenger, you can follow the devil, and so forth. Taba'a simply is a generalized concept of following, whereas salah means to closely follow behind something. Closely follow behind something. What's the difference? Salah, according to the Quran, is to follow closely to the laws and to the rules of the Quran, and to not deviate, to be in the precise situation of following closely to something. You are not deviating. So, every salah is a form of taba'a, but not every taba'a is a form of salah. If we go to Surah 19, for example, it says that there was a group of people who lost the salah and instead taba'a the shahawat. They have lost the salah and followed the desires. Okay, so we can see that there's the overlap in the meaning, but they have lost the salah, the precise following of God's laws, and instead they decided to follow the generalized concept of following the desires. You see that? So salah is to follow closely, i.e. to not deviate at all from God's laws. No matter what is coming your way, you are still within the confinements of the Quran. You see that? So if you go to like Surah 72, where God talks about al-MUSALEEN, and then he says that the MUSALEEN are the ones who maintain the Salah. They maintain the Salah. They're da'imun to the Salah. They're always on their Salah. Okay? Then God just further describes them. He said that the Musalli is the one who does not break his promise, who maintains his chastity, and so forth. The entire passage talks about the qualities of a Musalli is a person who is adhering to God's laws without deviation. Okay? So Salah is the more precise and specific form of following, whereas Tabi'a is the generalized concept of following. Let me give you an analogy. If I tell you there are 3 highways to follow, okay, and I want you to follow highway A, so that is Tabi'a. You are Tabi'a, you are following the generalized concept of highway A. And if you're on highway A, and then I tell you, I want you to drive 60 miles an hour, and you're on that highway and you decide to drive 60 miles an hour, okay? You do not go beyond faster than 60 or slower than 60. You're at 60. You are in this situation a musalli, okay? You're a musalli. You're not deviating from that 60 miles. Even if you get other smaller freeway segments or other signs and that are telling you go this way, go that way, and you maintain yourself on that facility and you stay at 60 miles an hour, you are a musalli because you are closely following, adhering to the said rules and laws laid out for you. You see that? So hopefully this will help you understand the difference between Tabi'a and Salah. They ultimately have similar meanings, but they ultimately have a subtle difference in definitions. Wassalamu alaikum.